What is going on, everybody? DJ Minds here, and I have a special guest for all of you from Neoxa. Andy, what's going on, dude?
Hey man, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, man. So tell people about their first time watchers, first time viewers of Neoxa, what your role is for Neoxa.
So I was initially one of the co-founders for Neoxa. We had two people. My partner left, so I'm currently the only one in the team with developers. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. And so developer, is it like lead developer? Is it
Yeah, I'm part of the lead team, and we have a few other people that contribute to our code.
okay? So I have noticed, man, Neox is up like 32% last 24 hours. It was more the other day. 195% in the last 30 days, man. So what has changed with Neoxa recently, or what has happened with Neoxa?
So Neoxa just went through a fork, and we implemented smart nodes on our chain. We moved away from Ravencoin. We are now actually a dash fork with Kapow. So we still keep the Ravencoin algorithm, which is Kapow, and now we are just a dash fork with Kapow pretty much. And I mean, people's excited. People's launching smart nodes on our network. We've got smart nodes. It's split 45% with miners that gets the rest of the other 45%. And then obviously 5% development and 5% goes to the gamers.
Okay. So I remember when I first started watching Neoxa or following it from the Mining King interview. Were you on the Mining King interview?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So that's when I learned about it. And I know back then it was like, I think 5% gaming, working towards gaming over time, like larger percentage. Is it still going to be like that in the future?
So
Or,
actually back then it was 10% gaming.
okay.
So the gaming percentage was higher. So we reduced that recently with the fork. Um, no, it's definitely not gonna go high on the gamer percentage, but we've reworked the system where we will monetize our games, and the monetization funds all goes to the gamers. So we don't take away too many coins from people running smart nodes or people mining. So we want to give 5% to the gamers now, and then 45 to smart nose runners, and then to the miners. Um, so yeah, but people always they don't really understand the whole concept. Why did we do it? Because one, Neox is a cryptocurrency for everyone, but we also have investors. We've got people that's looking at the price. I'm sure you do. I'm sure many people do.
Right.
So there's that whole element, and we want to make sure that everyone is happy. And at the end of the day, we're going to make sure our gamers are happy when we give them part of the monetization rewards. And in case people don't really understand the whole concept of it, we will implement normal ads within our system. We've reached out to a few cryptocurrencies that actually does blockchain ads, and we will add that to our games where there will be monetized funds, and that all goes back to our gamers. So yes, we're taking a bit of the block reward away from them, but we're also giving them monetized rewards. So we will be adding to that at the end of the day.
Okay. So monetized rewards. So let's just take Grand Theft Auto or Rust, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing on
Yeah,
that. How do I
yeah.
get that reward back in a monetized way? Is it me using the
Okay,
marketplace buying things or?
not necessary. So let's take GTA for an example. You know, when you go through the city, there's billboards, there's all these things. We can easily implement ads within the game on a billboard somewhere as you drive through the city. There'll be a giant billboard saying something about, for example, run on Flux, blah, blah, blah. And you can have everything loaded within that, where we go through a system like AdShares or whatever you want to call it. And for that billboard, an advertiser would pay an X amount of dollars. And what we would do is we will take that USDT, because it will be a crypto monetization. We'll take that USDT, we will buy back Neoxa from the exchange, and we'll just reward that to the gamers. So it's a system where we can use the monetized funds, and we can actually buy from our market and then give it to the gamers, and then they can decide what to do with it.
Okay, so would you need to like be in the city at that time playing the game and then in theory get that reward?
Well, not necessarily. So we're still sticking to the action-based system, where a person will have to complete a certain base of actions within the game. And then it will be an overall reward from the company who pays to have the advertisement that comes to Neoxa, and we buy Neoxa from the exchange. So that will be all shared within the city, for instance, in GTA. Rust, same thing more or less. There's billboards in Rust. We can change that. We can put ads in the text, all of that. So we will definitely monetize it to a certain point, and all those rewards would go straight to the gamers.
Okay, so that okay, because a lot of people, I mean, either in my Discord or Twitter, I did a little poll and just asked people for random questions, and they're like, "How come I'm not making as much?" And you did answer that first part, but now there's kind of that other end of it is like, well, potentially, you know, let's say we get a big sponsor or big advertiser, then if you're in the city, doing some things could potentially earn you more from that. So you could lose in one way, but maybe long term win in a different way. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, that's the whole idea of it. And we've already contacted a few companies where they would run ads within the tech system or billboards or whatever way you can do it. Um, so it's a set amount, and we always have guaranteed ads within the ecosystem where we can actually get the funds and we can buy back Neoxa and give it to the gamers. So yes, you lose in one aspect of it, but you also gain in the aspect when it comes to monetization. As of now, we haven't had it implemented yet, but it's something we're working towards to, and we can't yet say if it's going to be more beneficial or not. But yeah, that's definitely how the system's going to work going forward.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I'm sure, and you don't have to disclose anything. I'm sure this brand would pay more than that brand, right? So it'd be like
Yeah,
case by case
exactly.
kind of. It's kind of hard
Yeah,
to say. Okay,
yeah.
so one of my moderators, he asked on Twitter, Patrick Murphy is his name, asked how the
hmm
Masternodes changed the Neoxa project and what unanticipated challenges have you faced so far.
So we've have had smart nodes now for just over a week that it's gone live. We're seeing a whole lot of new investors joining the project, which is always nice to see. Then we also have the aspect where we can actually utilize the smart nodes in the future. That's when Neoxa wants to go into more of the streaming side of things, where we want to utilize the smart nodes and actually have a decentralized streaming platform eventually. That's definitely something that we're working towards. But yeah, I mean, it's very positive for us because we're seeing a whole lot of new people join that we didn't have before. We can now have people from three different aspects, really. People that's investors, that's not miners. They want to run a smart node. It doesn't cost electricity. They can run one on a server. We've got our gamers. We've got that whole community that comes together. The gamers comes together. So that's another community in itself. And then obviously the mining community, they're massive as well. So we've got all those three elements that's coming together now, and we can definitely see the rewards from it already.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As a gamer, right? Like, let's just say we all log into GTA, Rust, whatever it is. Is that supporting the
Yeah.
network, or like what exactly does the gaming side of it do?
So it does not support the network. No. So
Okay.
Neoxa is a model based on play to earn. You earn whatever you perform within the game. Your actions make sure you earn in a certain way. So we've built a system where we can have everyone earning a specific amount of coins based on the actions they perform. Now, we've randomized the system so people don't become robot-like and people don't think, okay, well, this is going to give me the most Neoxa today. So we randomize the system and have different aspects every single day.
That's good. I've always liked that about Neoxa, because otherwise, if it's cutting down trees, somebody's going to go out there and cut down trees and Rust
Yeah.
all day and
Yeah.
then never interact with other people, right? And that's really boring.
That's how we started. I mean, our initial concept was people just chopping trees away, and you see people building these massive houses, and it's not normal. I mean, it's really, really not normal. And obviously, we moved away from that over time. We've been going for just over a year now, so we've moved away from that whole thing where we now randomize actions. People earn for different things. There's nothing that's going to give you more or less. It's just very standardized. So we've got a standard for it. People will have to do different things every day. And I mean, this system currently is working, so we'll stick to that.
I like that, man. And for those who may have watched me on Neoxa, I used to play like every day on Ned Schneebly, the great Ned Schneebly. Shout out to the
Good
Neoxa
times.
community. And one thing people would say, you know, how much am I getting? How much money? And I'm like, dude, listen,
Mm-hmm.
don't focus so much on the money, right? Like, you're not going to come here to replace your job. That's not the goal, and I think that's a bad goal,
Yeah.
right? Come over
Yeah.
here if you already like the game and hang out, and you know what? You make some money on the side. And I've always felt like that
Yeah.
was the best approach. Like, because if I go play GTA anywhere else, you make nothing, right? But now you make a little bit of
Correct.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always been the idea. I mean, that's literally what we want to do. I mean, there's people playing on our service that's doing it as a day job.
Really?
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, countries, people playing from countries like Brazil, for instance, there's a lot of them playing all day. And I mean, fair play. And you can see them actually enjoying themselves as well as getting money. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But yeah, I mean, that was never the reason why we created Neoxa. We wanted to make sure everyone's got a fun time while actually getting that extra. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the hobbyist miner asked, we kind of answered a little bit of it. What made Neoxa move away from the original model? So this newer, if you call it newer model for the proof of game, they're going to get 5%, but over time they're not going to get as much for the gamer. What changed that?
So it's a bit of everything, but we also saw that we have all these gamers. At the end of the day, we want everyone to contribute to an ecosystem. Yes, they are contributing to an ecosystem, but for instance, our miners contribute much more. We have people that actually contribute to the security of the network. So yes, Neoxa initially wanted to give, I think we went up all the way to 45% of the rewards to gamers. That's what we wanted to do initially. We always would make sure we do what's best for the project. And we've spoken to many people, we've got advice from people, and generally people thought, okay, well, that's a bit of a bad idea. We can't just give everything to the gamers. Who's going to secure your network? Who's going to run smart nodes on your network if smart nodes only get 10% of the coins? I mean, it's just not going to happen. So we had to make the decision on a investment side of things where investors are happy. And we're definitely trying to satisfy the gamers too. Like with the monetization, that's something that we definitely would do. So we, at the end of the day, we're going to try and satisfy everyone. But yeah, it's not always possible.
That makes sense, actually, because I didn't know that, right? That's why I asked you, do the people in the city of GTA actually support the network? If the answer is no,
Yeah.
which it is no, right? I don't want to I don't want to be rude to be like, what are you contributing? But at the same time, it's like we have to focus more on like investors and growing the coin and maybe getting on an exchange and just supporting the overall network side. I mean, that's the big picture, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense, especially when you say it like that. Okay.
Yeah.
As a miner, I'm a miner. My channel's mostly mining. Are we ever going to see an algo change? I know you said there was a fork of Dash, but like as far as the mining, like Kapal is really hot, uses a lot of watts. Is there ever going to be something that could become more efficient for Neoxa?
At this point, no.
Okay.
At the end of the day, Kappa, yes, it's not the most efficient algorithm. It runs really hot. Me as a miner myself, I know that. I try and avoid Kappa coins at all costs, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I do understand that point of it. But when we started Neoxa, we made a pledge, let's stay away from FPGAs, let's stay away from the ASIC side of things. And let's be real, over the last years, Kappa has proven itself to be able, I mean, ASICs and FPGAs can't really get into the network. So,
Right.
I mean, as of now, I would say no. We'll probably stick to it. It works. It's a good algorithm to mine in the winter, I guess.
In the winter,
I
it's
mean,
good. Yeah.
yeah. For now, I just don't want to say we'll do it and then we don't end up doing it. So yeah, for now we probably gonna stick to Kappa. I mean, it's a good algorithm for miners in general. Yes, not the best efficient wise. It's hot, but in general, if you want to stick to GPU mining, Kappa's really not that bad.
Okay. Fair enough. FL Dammy, maybe it's Florida Dammy, asked, does Neoxa expect their mobile partner or partners to announce the games for Neoxa? So like we go on GTA, we go on Rust, but you never hear like, I forgot their studios names, announcing like, hey, we got Neoxa now. Do you think that'll ever happen?
Yeah. The question you asked is our future partner, where we're gonna partner with someone that actually does mobile gaming and all of that. So we're probably looking at that in the next few months, and to be safe, let me just say in the next year. As of them announcing it, no, maybe not. I just can't say, but I don't want to say something and then it never happens. Possibly not. I mean, it's a question that I can't really answer, but it will be there. I mean, it will be the first time that we are in actual games without us doing it.
Okay, so it's probably like way out of your control.
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
you don't own Fortnite or whichever mobile
Correct.
game, you know. So it's really
Yeah.
on them. That's fair.
Yeah.
I figured I'd ask. Daniel
Yeah.
Ramirez, but he asked, can you expand on plans for Neoxa SDK? I actually don't really know what the Neoxa SDK is for game developers and their vision for the marketplace in regards to the interaction between game developers, users, and Neoxa.
The SDK is a development kit that other developers could use. And they can actually add Neoxa within their games or their mobile games or whatever. We are currently on the focus to go into the streaming side of things a bit more. So our next year of development will definitely go into more streaming. However, we're going to have a few hired developers that would work on the side on the SDK, that would work on upgrading our smart nodes to do something a bit different. And then obviously the streaming side of things, that's going to be our focus as Neoxa team itself. Our focus for the next, I would say the next year. But we will also bring out beta tests as we go along, and we'll definitely include the community to that.
Okay, and is that stream to earn?
Is
that a thing?
Yeah, that's something that we're working on. So we want to make a platform that's pretty fair. So the problem, there's a few companies and people that does it, but it's very bot controlled, so everyone's going to try and game the system. I mean, we've seen it so much of Neoxa as well with the games. Everyone's trying to game the system, and we eventually find a way. Okay, well, you can't game the system anymore, and so we always have to change things. So we want to develop a system that's able to verify viewership, for instance, and all the statics that goes into the channel. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the focuses, just to make it as secure as possible.
Now, is that like twitch.tv when we're talking streaming, or is it like something totally different?
Well, you can say that. I mean, it's going to be a decentralized streaming platform. So everything is stored within our nodes. That's the whole plan. In the internet where censorship is a real thing, when a person stores that within a node, there's not really much censorship. Sure, we'll face the problem of monetization, monitoring everyone's stuff. For instance, someone uploads something they shouldn't, we'll have that problem too, but that can all be moderated. So that's something that we want to focus on. And the stream to earn is basically just our own platform, just like you said, like Twitch or Kick or whatever it is, but in a decentralized manner.
I think that'd be really cool. As someone who used to stream on Neoxa, and I'd love to again, actually. You know, it's always hard to find people for Neoxa because I don't know where to look. Do I look on their Discord? Do I look on YouTube? Do I look on Twitch? So it'd actually be pretty cool if there was like, this is the Neoxa list of streamers on their own website, and I could just look around. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something we want to work towards.
All right, Andy, is there anything else like upcoming or something that I might have missed that you'd like to talk about for Neoxa project?
Well, with Neoxa right now, we just launched the smart nodes. Great thanks again to Nando that assisted us quite a bit with the smart node development. So after the smart node launch, our focus for the next year and a half is definitely going to go into streaming side of things. Definitely going to have gaming servers that's being launched on our nodes as well. We want to go into that whole aspect where we actually utilize the smart nodes, and it's not just a node that's on the blockchain. So we definitely want to make sure it's not just something that every other coin have, and the smart nodes are actually being used. For instance, Flux, they do a great job of actually utilizing the nodes, and that's something that Neoxa definitely wants to get into as well over the next year and a half.
I want a Masternode. I need a Masternode. I'm keep saving though. I'm still saving my Neoxa, man. I haven't sold a penny. I'm trying. I'm gonna get one. You know, do you know your friend Andy? Yeah,
I don't know him, but I know of him. Yeah,
he talks very highly about Neoxa. He bought 10 Masternodes, so I'm trying to get one. So
he's been around in the community for a while. I mean, he's made some videos of a really respected guy. Yeah,
very good dude. All right, Andy. Anything else you want to tell the people?
Just stay tuned. We've got a lot of exciting things. We're busy fundraising for MEXC exchange listing. They can find the details on our website. I think we've almost reached 20% in one day of the funding, which is fantastic for our community. And yeah, just a great thanks to all of our community members. It's going really well.
Congrats, dude. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thanks, man. Thanks, bud.